Sorry, my camera kinda cut off. But as I was saying, there are like some really good parts to the overall movie. Like you see little glimpses of like actual acting, if you ask me, from the character of Megan. Like I don't know, there's like a scene where like my hair today, I slept in a bun last night, and this is what happens when you sleep in a bun the night before. But yeah, so like I don't know, like I'm getting frustrated because I can't compact my thoughts right this second. Because I just watched it last night before bed, and then like I woke up this morning and it was fresh on my mind, and I was watching a bunch of reviews and thoughts on it. Um, but no, I mean like, so like there's this one scene, for instance, where like I don't know, you just see the vulnerability of the character Megan. It's good. It's really good. And like okay, so then after like the party scene and stuff like that, you just kind of keep getting to know the girls, and I don't know, none of that really matters. But then eventually you get to like the midst where Megan's like online talking to this guy that kind of like this teenage boy she thinks like is his like picture on his profile. So she decides to like video message him, and it just so happens that when she video messaged him, he tells her that his camera just broke. Oh, of course. So that's why, you know, she can't see him, like, right now over the camera, but they can still talk, and they continue to video message, so he can see her pretty much, but she can't see him, and that's, like, why. I mean, he does sound like a teenager, too. It's kind of weird. Like, I wouldn't have guessed. I mean, I would have guessed, because you know what movie you're watching when you go in, but, like, you know, like, I shipped it for a little bit. It was cute, like, but, anyway, shit just gets bad, and he starts asking to meet her, and she goes to meet him, and he doesn't show up once, and then he tells her to meet him again, and then next thing you know, we have the best friend character, and I don't know why I can't think of her best friend's name right now, which is kind of bad. I probably should have came into this review knowing my facts, but I didn't. So the friend, we're gonna call her the virginal friend, because there's the two best friends, Megan, and then her friend, who's really, like, I don't know if I said this before, I'm kind of forgetting, well, short-term memory loss, but her friend is really, like, sweet and, like, doesn't do drugs or go to parties and has a really nice upbringing. But anyway, so, like, I don't even know, like, so Megan pretty much goes missing, and her friend is like, what the fuck? And the friend knows that she was talking to this guy, Josh. That was the guy's name on, you know, the teenager that Megan was talking to and thought that she was going to be meeting up with is named Josh. And so, you know, her best friend, virginal best friend, decides to go online and like message this guy and be like, what up? So she video messages him and she's like, what the fuck, where's Megan? Do you know what happened to her? And he's like, no, of course not, she didn't show up. And they find like video, like wherever the two were meeting, there was like a video camera around, and like it captured a guy pretty much taking Megan. And yeah, like that's the first like shit, like not good. And then this best friend starts really thinking that, you know, this kid, this Josh kid had something to do with it, so she starts telling the press about this and like whatnot, and he like messages her and is like, shut up, you have a big mouth, and it gets really dark and really scary. Well, not scary, but like you're like, oh shit, shit's gonna go down. There's a really good scene where like, I don't know if it's necessarily good acting, it's not, but like the thought of the scene I enjoyed. I'm not too hard to please with movies. I'm not. So there's no need, if you hated this movie, to comment down below and talk about my bad taste in horror movies, because I don't give a fuck. I liked it. I mean, do I think it was like grade A movie? No. But anyway, I'm going totally bloop 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 off track, and you guys aren't going to be able to follow the storyline. I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing good at this. I don't really give a fuck. I'm just like getting out my thoughts. But like, so there's this one really good scene where Megan's like talking to her camera that she buys. And like she's talking about like vlogging style, and then like in this one scene she doesn't see what's behind her because she's just talking to the camera, but like you can see that there's like a man like in the background, like she doesn't see him but he's like watching her, and it's so like No. So anyway, it turns out that he messaged her again and like is really threatening and really aggressive. Is really bad. And he pretty much, we find out, like, there's another scene where she's talking to the camera again, and she's, like, talking about her feelings and shit like that, and blah, blah, blah. But then, like, he takes her, pretty much, and it's all you see. You kind of see his arm, like, go for her, and the camera, like, freezes up. Because he probably, like, I don't know, hit it, kicked it, and, like, but yeah, and so now we know that both of them are kidnapped, and you're just like, oh shit. And like, this is the part that I did not even know, like, the movie, if you, because I didn't look it up, I didn't look up any, like, anything about the movie before I watched the movie. I did not know what I was walking into, I did not know what the movie was gonna be like, and literally, like, you have what you think the movie is, like, the whole beginning, the whole, pretty much most of the movie, you're like, this is like, what? Okay. But then it like just has like a huge like 360 shift. Or like it's up and down. Just tilted. Like jerk. And now like I guess the guy who's kidnapping these two girls, this Josh kid, but it's not really Josh, that's not his name. He's probably like some creepy, like, we never see him throughout the film. And that's actually a good element, because like, whenever you can see what you're supposed to be afraid of, it's less scary, in my opinion. But yeah, so now he has the camera pretty much, and you're in this like weird, like undergroundy, dungeony, like cold cement walls and floor. Like, it's huge though. Like, there's so many little rooms, and they're like little cells almost. Like, there's doors with little like barred windows, and like he opens the door, and you pretty much see the virtual best friend in her underwear, all dirty and like sad and crying, and chained up by her neck to the wall. And you're just like, like shit. Like, it's just crazy. Like, you just, I mean, I guess like you expect that, but like you don't expect to see it. And like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, pretty much like, you just see him pretty much torturing her. Oh, I totally forgot a huge chunk of the movie that was also really good. So, after Megan goes missing, before the virginal best friend even gets taken, they kind of show you in the middle of the film, like, some photos that were never, like, released to the press, like, or whatever, that were found months and months after both of them were already gone. Like, both of them were, like, throughout the movie they give you dates of when it is. I think pretty much the happening, like, Megan, like, getting kidnapped happens in, like, January. And supposedly these pictures were found in, like, May. So this is, like, hella late, like, this is, like, hella foreshadowing. I just said hella, like, a few too many times, I'm sorry. Frisco. But, but yeah, so like they show you these three pictures, and they're pretty gruesome. Like me, I'm a little I'm a lot desensitized when it comes to scary movies and disturbing like visuals and such. I love scary movies and kind of what I do. I'm gonna be a mortician someday as well. I should vlog about that someday, but not today. This is not about that. So yeah, like there are these three really disturbing pictures. And, like, yeah, you're pretty much like, fuck, because when you see these pictures, you just kind of know all the shit that Megan was going through. And there's one picture, the first picture, in, like, it's a close-up of her face, and it's like she's in this weird Marilyn Manson, like, weird trap that keeps her mouth open and, like, her head back, and it's grabbing her by her nostrils, and she's, like, bloody and gross and greasy, and you can tell that she's been crying, and you can just see the fear and the pain on her face, and it's just, like, yeah, so there's that. So that's kind of like a big pow, like, in the beginning that you're like, shit will get real. And shit does get real, like I said. Like, it just 360 changes. I love it. I love it. I love it. The ending is about 20 minutes, I think everybody says. Like, 22 minutes, I don't know. But the ending is pure pain and, like, it's shock value. And you know what? I don't mind. I don't mind. Like, it's good. It's if you can't like handle really disturbing things or like rape or like just horrible shit that's happening to good people, then don't watch this movie because you're probably gonna be too disturbed to finish it. But like it was good, and the ending was so terrifying, and it just keeps going, and you just keep seeing all this shit that he's doing to her, and it's just really fucked up, and you just have that feeling in your stomach, like, how could someone, how could someone do this to, like, another human being, I guess? I've never sounded so, like, caring for someone. I'm always like, kill him! But, like, I don't know, I was with my best friend, and I've literally been best friends with this girl for over 10 years. I've known her, like, my whole life, and I get, like, their relationship. Like, romance, I have no idea. Like, love, gross. But, like, the love between two best friends is, like, she's like my sister, and I could feel that vibe with them. And you can just see her in the cell, and she's just like, where's Megan? Like, I just want to see Megan. And, like, they use the virginal girls, the guy uses the virginal girls, like, her teddy bear that she loves more than anything. It's, like, her special, like, item. You know how everybody, I don't know if you know, but, like, everybody, in my opinion, has, like, that special item. I actually have mine. I don't know if you can see on that chair, but there's a blanket. It's Special Blankie, that's its name. And I've had it since I was born, and I love it more than life itself, and I will keep it forever. And, like, that's pretty much what he uses against her, and it's just really upsetting. So, like, you kind of almost, like, I could relate. And then, like, you're not sure if Megan's alive, or at least at this point, I thought Megan was alive. Like, I honestly did. I thought she was going to be in another cell, like, chained up as well. They were going through the same thing, and maybe they could be reunited. But then, like, it starts getting to the end, and, like, I don't know, like, he rapes her. Like, there's a big old long rape scene, so, like, watch with precaution, because, like, you don't want your, like, speakers up all loud, and then your parents are, like, sleeping in the room next door, and then it's awkward, because it's just, like, really loud rape sound effects. Yeah, awk. But no, like, it's sad. Serious, Kendall. JK. Anyway. So, yeah. He grabs, like, what's her name? The virginal best friend at one point at the end of the movie. And it's weird because he's undoing her from the lock, and she's like, what are you doing? Are you letting me go? And she's, like, shooken up. Like, she's fucked up. Like, this experience would fuck anybody up. I get that. And it has. Like, you can just tell, like, she's so, like, she'll do anything he says. You know what I mean? Like, she's, like, but she's terrified. Like, she's absolutely terrified. I mean, she's, like, a 14-year-old girl. Like, she's never had sex. She's never been exposed to this kind of stuff. Like, I can't even imagine. So he pretty much takes her, and this is when shit goes down, and I wasn't prepared at all for this. I was terrified. I was already feeling, like, you know, the feeling inside when you're watching this movie is just, like, sheer terror, I guess. Like, this part of the film, you're just like, holy shit, when is it gonna stop? Like, I would rather die, honestly. Like, if anybody ever tried to abduct me, like, I would be the worst victim, because I wouldn't do what you said, even if you had a gun to my head. I would rather you shoot me in front of a big group of people than take me in your van and drive me off to some place and do whatever the fuck you want with me and then kill me anyway. Just saying. But yeah. Where was I? So he takes her out of the cell, and he's just really toying with her, like, it's just really disgusting. Like, you can just hear him, you want your mommy, you want your daddy, I want my mommy, I want my daddy. Like, she's, like, crying. It's just bad. It's bad. And then, like, he takes her into this room, and he's got a good hand on her. It's really fucked up. And he's like, I don't even know. I'm forgetting what he was saying because I was so, like, in the moment. But I'm pretty sure he was like, oh, you want to see your friend Megan? You want to see Megan? And she's like, yeah. And I was not prepared for this. Like, many of you people out there are prepared for this part. I was not at all. So do not judge me. The barrel scene, like, all of a sudden the camera, like, pans down to the barrel that's in the room. And it is a very, very dead-looking Megan. It's disgusting. Like, it is so scary. Like, I screamed and started crying on the spot. And I don't even mean, like, crying from, like, emotion. Like, I wasn't like, oh, this is so sad, I'm crying. Like, honestly, like, I don't know what happened. Like, I was, like, so scared that my eyes just decided to just start, like, going. And, like, they were just tearing. And it wasn't like I was, like, crying, but, like, I was, like, but yeah, oh my god, like, that scene, like, really gross. Like, I'm gonna be a mortician, but, like, that stage of decomposition, like, you can tell that she was just, like, she was, like, thrown, and, like, her eyes were, like, so white and, like, blue, like, dead. Death was in her eyes, and she had blood all over her, and she was just gross. Like, it was horrifying. And then I'm not sure if he put the virginal girl in a separate barrel, or in the same barrel as Megan. I feel like we never really see it that well. I don't know. Everybody's like, ugh, he couldn't have put her in the barrel with Megan. Yeah, he could. They're like, she wouldn't have fit. Yeah, she could. She was like a 5-foot girl with another 5-foot girl in a barrel. Like a big ass barrel. It's a big ass barrel. So he puts her in the barrel, and she's like crying and like pleading to let her out. And then it's just horrible because oof, you just like, it cuts to the scene, and I think it's the most like grave part of like the whole movie. I mean, I'm really glad Tess is here watching it with me for this part, because this part goes on for a while and not much is said and not much happens, but that was the beauty of this part in my opinion. I thought it was a really good artsy fartsy choice, and I liked it. And so there's just a really long scene where there's like the camera vantage point, you can tell is on the ground in the woods somewhere, and you can just see the barrel in one corner off to the side, and you can just see him literally with a shovel digging a fucking hole in the ground. And you never see his face, but he's right there, and you can see his legs, and you can see his hands, and he's digging this big old hole, and she's just praying the whole time, please don't, I'll do anything, I love you, you know, I'll be the best girlfriend you ever had. And it's just really sad, like, because she's just pleading and pleading and pleading not to kill her, and she can't breathe. She starts coughing, and she's like, please don't. He's gonna fucking bury her alive, and I know it, you know it, everybody knows it. It's like, wow. And, like, that is, like, I don't know, I get claustrophobic a little bit, so, like, that would be a pretty horrible death for me, especially after all the shit she's gone through, for her to die like that, like. And then, like, I don't know, there's no, like, sympathy, there's no, like, and she never stops, and it was kind of, like, that part, like, hurt me a little bit, because, like, I know if I was in that barrel, I'm sure I would have pleaded a little bit at first, but after a while, have some self-respect and have some dignity, and I wouldn't have been pleading with him till the very last second, and she did, and it was just horrific. And, I mean, I get it, that was realistic. For her, I'm different, but, like, all the drama, it's just like, you're just, like, emotionally exhausted by the end of the film. But, this has been a really long review, and I'm really sorry, but I had so much to say. That's pretty much the end. It's really horrific. He's just digging the hole, and then he just kicks her into the hole, and you can hear her still screaming and still yelling, and, like, I mean, like, as he's, like, burying her, she's still pleading with him. She's still pleading with him. And it's just so scary, because as the dirt just keeps being, like, put on her, like, you just hear her less and less until you can't hear her at all. And I don't know if that's because she's dead and not screaming. Let's hope for her sake, because that would suck to just be in a barrel for, like, a long time before you just die. I, like, choked on my own, like, but yeah. So that's the end. And then he walks away, pretty much admiring, like, the area around him on the camera, which is pretty fucked up. But I really enjoyed it, and I really liked it. And I thought the ending was intense and good, and I enjoyed it so much. And it was scary, and that's what I wanted out of a scary movie, not necessarily the best writing. That's it, guys. Leave your comments below. Thank you.